welcome back to the finale commentary. This is Mike.
And this is Bryan.
Hope you've been enjoying the show so far.
So this is Chapter 19. This is the second part of the four-part finale, written by Aaron E. Haas, our head writer.
And directed by Giancarlo Volpe.
Our good friend Giancarlo.
And fellow Italian.
I'm not.
Well, I am.
All right.
So that makes...
We did have a lot of Italian-Americans on the show. It's true.
Which is really what you need for an Asian-inspired show, I feel
It's
like.
true.
There's a lot of Italians involved.
Marco Polo. So this is sort of the, now that we know what we gotta do, it's the getting ready episode.
Yeah. Which I think are sometimes the hardest episodes to write. Because it was kind of the... at least when this was being written, we hadn't decided on the splitting up, I think, of the last two episodes.
Yeah.
So this was the middle third. And Aaron did a great job pulling it all together and making the... there's a lot of, Aang talking to the past lives and stuff like that, which, could, potentially be problematic if it's not well written, interesting dialogue and stuff. But I think we had enough visual interest to keep this one going.
Yeah, it came out really... The script was really
And
good.
you do get to see some new stuff. You get to see a couple avatars you haven't seen before on the show. And
I know a lot of the fans kept asking me about Avatar Kuruk, who... I guess, you see him in the show occasionally, and then I think mainly that thing that you wrote, Mike, that
there's a online Spirit World journey thing between season 2 and 3 that kind of was a way to introduce those characters and stuff. So they've kind of made their first official appearance there, but it was nice to bring them back for the show.
So I just want to point out a little trivia that June is, as some people know, is based on our friend Lisa, who's the post supervisor, and Nyla is the name of her dog. Nyla is a Rottweiler, so we actually, when we designed the Shirshu, I tried to give it Rottweiler coloring, but we finally get to hear the name. And then incidentally, her other dog's name is Bosco, which Tim named. Didn't he name the Earth King's bear?
Yeah, but I think that was just a coincidence.
Yeah, I said coincidentally.
Yeah, okay.
That was my segue.
Then where is he? I like that little squirrel guy.
Yeah, very cool. I think Angela Mueller designed that guy. He was very cool.
Yeah, another difficult thing is having a character talk to themselves and figure things out, which is always a dangerous proposition. But
This
I buy it. He's talking to Momo. We both have dogs. We talk to our dogs all the time.
Man, all the time.
For no reason. You just talk about stuff.
That scene takes me back, Aang and Momo. That takes me back to the pilot. We had the same issue. I remember a lot of discussions about that. He was kind of just, using Momo as a sounding board for his problem.
I think we successfully avoided it through most of the series. So
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me here. Zach did a great job with the acting, and Aaron did a great job with the writing. So it all worked out. I just want to know where Zuko's been keeping that sand.
I was just going to ask the same thing.
For many months now. Do you think he cuddles with it?
You know what? I'm just going to let it go. I'm not going to dwell on that one. I love that painting there. Brian Evans did that one. It's a cool landscape.
Well, of course, the other big thing in this episode that we get to see is Uncle's return. So that in itself is worthy of a exciting episode.
Yeah, and you start to see a payoff for the whole White Lotus subplot that's gone on through a lot of the series. I think Mike really likes secret societies, so that one kind of kept coming.
Yeah, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
There's some fans out there.
Yeah.
Secret societies.
Mike is part of a secret society. I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about it. The bald-headed Vermont maple syrup
Lover Society. So the one thing I really love story-wise about this whole finale is it's a story about Aang.
You love how the color shifted.
Well, that was cool.
In this, when the spear came out.
That was cool, but that's not what I was talking about.
All right.
It's a story about a hero coming to terms and having a personal conflict over not killing the bad guy, which I can't think of too many, certainly animated series that's been the storyline, and so it's a kind of different kind of storyline.
There was, didn't you? I mean, it was something we knew was going to be important, but didn't you find that was that Gilgamesh or?
Yeah, actually, after we had kind of, as we were developing this finale and stuff, I was reading the Bhagavad Gita, which is the Hindu text. And the Bhagavad Gita is a famous thousands-year-old story about a warrior who talks to the god Krishna, I think, like on the eve of this battle that he has to go in, and it's kind of like his.
He's like fighting his family.
Yeah, there's family members, I think, on the other side that he's supposed to fight, and he's going through this personal crisis of like, why do I have to fight? Why does there have to be war? Why do I have to do this? And it's kind of like Aang sitting around talking to his past lives almost. So it's interesting how those kind of really timeless stories and things will come up naturally out of something like Avatar, which is already spiritually based and stuff like that. That even though we weren't familiar with that story at first, I think those kind of things just have some sort of energy or resonate throughout cultures and stuff. So
sort of that Joseph Campbell.
Yeah, definitely.
Thing. I think what I like about it is each one of the incarnations of the Avatar has a different personality. It's not the same person, even though it's sort of the same energy from each life. They when they incarnate, it's a different person, and every being is unique. And what I like is that they each give Aang their spin on it, and some of them, shine a little light on what happened in their lives and their, reign as the Avatar. But what I think is great is that ultimately Aang does it his way and stays true to his own nature and his own personality. And it's a combination of how he was raised with the Air Nomad monks, but also just who he is as a being, and all of that energy of the Avatars kind of almost overtakes him, but his uniqueness wins out.
And not to ignore the old guys who just showed up. Oh yeah, it was good to see them again.
It was.
So yeah, like here's Kyoshi. If Kyoshi was, had the job to take out the Fire Lord now, she would have no problem just doing what had to be done to
Right, and then but you gotta wonder, is that what the world needed?
Yeah,
which is kind of what Uncle talks about later. There's any number of ways to get the job done, but is it what the world needs at that moment? I like Aang's response. I shouldn't have asked you. He just knows he doesn't have much in common with her.
So, Boomy, how did you end up escaping your imprisonment in Omashu?
Escape? I didn't.
Whose boarding idea was that? I forgot. Boomy just lifting his head backwards like that.
I believe that was Joanne Matt's
That's pretty
section.
funny.
So
My dog does that. He'll just Instead of turning to look at me, he'll just flip his head upside down and look at me for a while.
So this is Boomy's neutral jing paid off. He was waiting for the right moment. And when he saw an eclipse, he said, "What do you think you're doing? This seems like a good idea."
Yeah, we had to show here that he didn't know about.
Right.
He didn't know that the firebenders would lose their firebending during the eclipse, but he just had a feeling, the natural phenomenon, that this was a good time to do it. This was storyboarded by one of our animation directors, Jamie Young. And also we had some, I don't know if argument's the right word, but basically an eclipse is only an eclipse for one place in the world. If you're in North America and there's an eclipse, you can't see it in South America because it's a different vantage point. The moon won't be blocking the sun from there. So, I guess it's just like this was a few hours later.
Or maybe it's because the Avatar world's flat.
Is it?
No,
We
it's
did
not.
show that map. Well, we show that map in the title sequence. It has pop-up mountains.
Maybe it has two suns and two moons.
No, I think we're just gonna have to say that it was like the same eclipse later on.
Yeah.
The shadow passing over the earth.
Yeah, just go with it, people.
All right. When I was in Avatar, I did a lot of surfing.
Man, I think a show about this guy would be pretty sweet. They would have no conflict in it at all, though.
Well,
He
there'd
would
be
just-
there'd be the surf tournament.
Yeah. He'd just be like
The
cruising
four nations surf off.
going around, meeting the ladies.
Well, that's what happened was he beat Ko in this surfing competition. So Ko took his
That
girl.
was his revenge.
Yeah. And he just took her face.
Man,
That's
jerk.
the story we're developing right now.
I like it.
The 4 elements surf off. You have to surf on fire. That's one of them. Rock surfing.
I like it.
Yep. It's a hit.
So, although we don't show too many of the other White Lotus dudes, there are other members.
They're just all asleep because
it's not
they're old.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, old people. I didn't mean that.
It's just, they're people we don't know, so we're not going to spend time on them. But they are in there. They're hanging out.
You see him in the background,
Yeah.
chewing and things.
Totally.
He loved me and supported me in every way he could, and I still turned against him. How can I even face him?
Zuko, you're sorry for what you did, right?
More sorry than I've been about anything in my entire life.
Then he'll forgive you.
So this upcoming scene with Uncle is another wonderfully written scene by Aaron, very emotional and beautiful, and great storyboarding by our supervising director, Sun Yun Oh. Just really did a great job of capturing that reunion moment and seeing Zuko's reaction. I forgot. It doesn't happen right now. But it comes up pretty soon, and it's good.
Here, Aang addresses the uselessness of talking to animals. Actually, it helps you.
It does.
Helps you work through your problems. So this is Avatar Sozin, famed Avatar that we mentioned at that one convention.
Even the life of the tiniest spider fly caught in its own web.
Yes, all life is sacred.
That spider fly thing, I had a lot of problems with that, but somehow it still made it in. Oh well.
Don't overthink it.
I'll get over it. We had Ben Wynn, the sound designer, do a cool thing. Each time one of these past lives dissipated, he blended in the sound of their native element. So, when Roku vanishes, there's fire sounds, and so on. It was a cool little touch. And I wish we thought of that in the sound stage, but I wish we had animated the dissipating spirit, sort of like each element. But, oh well, we'll just go back and do like a George Lucas version. 10, 15 years.
Let's not.
Alright.
Unless we're really bored and we don't have anything else to do.
Not that that was George's issue. I'm sure he was very excited. Back to old people camp and the exciting emotional scene. Mike was
Alright,
talking
here's the
about.
scene that I was looking forward to.
Yeah, this Osinkan storyboarded this, and there's a scene that he storyboarded, and I think he did the key animation for it in the Korean animated film Wonderful Days. And there's this one particular scene that Mike and I really loved when we saw that in Korea years ago. When there was this hug where a character just like ran across the room and hugged another character. It was very dramatic and sudden. And so this, when we talked about the scene, and he really wanted to board it, we're like, it's got to be like that hug. I just love how Uncle just grabs him and yanks him over.
You found it again. And you did it by yourself. And I am so happy you found your way.
It's cool. It's really neat how many people have really responded to Uncle Iroh. I remember reading something. I don't usually go online. I think I was looking on Amazon or something, and someone was like, this series, I don't think it's very good, but Uncle Iroh is the coolest character I've ever seen in anything. I thought that was a really cool compliment, that even though they didn't really like anything else about the show, they at least liked him.
They're not getting larger. They're getting closer. The whole island is moving.
I really hope at the end of Lost, the island doesn't turn out to be a giant lion turtle. That would suck.
Nah, man, it'd be cool. we beat him to it.
That's true. We did beat him, so.
It actually, someone pointed out that Neverending Story has like a giant turtle. I don't really remember.
I kind of remember it, but I don't think it was like this guy.
It wasn't a lion turtle.
The biggest animal in the world.
So I believe it's the first time we hinted at the lion turtle in the library. Was that? There was a little
Well, honestly,
picture of it.
honestly, the first time was in the pilot. Aang, there's the little 4-element opening sequence that I animated. Had the background behind Aang when he did the air scooter was a lion turtle statue.
That's right.
So I mean, we had the idea a long time ago. So we started dropping it in. We thought it'd be cool to put in the ancient library. Aang's like, hey, look at these crazy lion turtles. Sokka's not impressed. And then Piandao in episode 304 says you have the heart of a lion turtle, and we had pretty sure you see them in his garden back there.
Yeah, he's got like little statues.
He's got lion
and stuff.
turtle statues, which are kind of based on these really cool turtle statues Mike and I saw in Korea that have these big pillars on their backs. So the idea that there were these super ancient animals. They're not spirits. They're they're physical animals, but they're very powerful and spiritual. And the idea is that this is the last one. It's from the era before the Avatar. And you can bet we got some ideas about that stuff.
Sozin's Comet is arriving, and our destiny.
What do you think they're eating there? Some udon?
Will face the fire.
I think they do.
Jajangmyeon? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
One day take Bossing say.
Could go for a bowl of that. Right?
Yeah, sounds good. Maybe we'll go there after this. Commentating's hungry work.
Yeah.
That's why you gathered the members of the White Lotus.
It's like, yes, we were going to play cards. It was our annual card playing meeting. I wish we had done more telephoto over the shoulder shots like that one. I like that their heads
came
are
out.
kind of the same size.
Very cool and cinematic.
Yeah. Now we know for next time.
Would you like to help me put Azula in her place?
It would be my pleasure.
What about us? What's our destiny today?
Yeah, this scene was another one of those kind of
I think that
long
though we don't know
informational scenes, but
to stop the airship fleet.
you know, kind of one of those necessary scenes that you gotta set everything up, see where everyone's gonna go, and
Yeah, I like how all the paths are solidifying. It's things that you maybe knew or you intuitively guessed or something. But
I love that Piandao just has an eel hound kicking around.
you know he's got a nice ride. We should have had a little car alarm sound for it.
Yeah.
That eel hound kind of looks like our dog's really skinny.
They're not quite as big.
What are you going to do?
I mean, our dogs aren't quite as big as that guy.
Although your dog's pretty, almost as fast, I would say.
And he can swim pretty well.
Whoa, Uncle didn't have the pattern on his cowl there. I just noticed.
Oh,
Retake. All right, well,
so
that's
months
another-
later we will.
Oh, look, it's missing.
Oh, jeez.
man, we're
See, this
terrible.
is, you know,
When
you
we do the George Lucas version in 10 or 15 years,
put that on the blooper reel, folks.
put the lotus pattern on the cowl.
This is animation. You look at the same show.
We're gonna use the like best computer graphics to map a lotus pattern on his cowl in 15 years. It's gonna be
So,
amazing.
sorry about that. I like that eye. It's very creepy.
That's cool. Now, I don't normally do this. I try to keep things positive in here. A lot of people work really hard on the show, and I totally appreciate that. But I just have to tell you that
Even my oldest lies.
Jay-Woo and I did some really cool designs for this thing. Jay-Woo just, I did some rough sketches, and he just did the most beautiful, intricate, amazing designs of this lion turtle. And like we said, we knew he was going to be, we knew this thing was going to be in the show from a really long time ago. So I was excited. And it does not look the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, we did our best. Bryan did a lot of retakes on that, and
my thought was we wanted it to be so huge that it was more of a background than a character. So knowing how hard that is to do with 2D animation, we just tried to do it as painted elements that would slide. And, that really wouldn't have been a problem, but they just didn't come out that good. And there were just so many other retakes. And, like this one. This shot went through
That
about
was a
10
tough
takes.
shot.
Yeah.
yeah, there's sometimes shots that we try to be. Well, sometimes we're not even that ambitious. They don't
Yeah, it's just
come
a
out.
simple shot.
Yeah,
But,
but
so, when we do the George Lucas version,
Yeah.
we'll make the lion turtle all CG and ridiculously intricate. But, oh well. Gotta move on.
yeah, this is a great little setup to the last two parts.